What's up, Sooner Nation? Welcome to what was hopefully a wonderful Wednesday for everyone out there in Sooner Nation. Welcome to the Sooner Surge Double Trouble here for another nightly episode. Lots to talk about tonight. Lots to
What's
talk
going
about.
on?
First, congrats to the Sooner women's softball team who looked much more like the women's softball team we know and love. Just seemed a little bit, I would say, kind of relaxed out there today. Kirsten Dill pitched to
Hey,
Jim, had the rise ball going. Obviously, it was Texas A&M and Commerce. I get it, but I love them in the all reds. It was great, and I think the biggest news of the day, Sooner fan and Mez and them are all talking about it. The cheetah has arrived,
and it's not like anybody thought it wasn't going to happen. It's just finally we get the news, and it's a great time because spring ball is practicing next week, and so it's great. It's a huge get for Oklahoma for him to come back. We all knew that it would happen, and now it's official. I think it's great. And you had Brent Venables talking to the media, and all the newcomers talking to the media. So great stuff today, man.
Yeah, and there's a lot of stuff I think that was talked about that maybe people didn't know yet. So there were some new things that were talked about. Obviously, the Justin Harrington news, while it's not surprising because I think we all expected him to get that, it's also a sigh of relief because you just never know with the NCAA. And then second of all, he's got to be the guy at Cheetah. So that starts kind of dominoes falling as far as other places. I thought it was interesting about Helm saying.
I did too.
I don't know, man.
Hey,
I don't think he's going to play much.
If he's injured again, it doesn't bode well. It's almost kind of similar, but different a little bit because Gentry Williams has played. Caden Helms hasn't played yet. I was looking forward to watching him in the spring, and he's still not 100%. So
not good news. It wasn't good news.
It's
to hear
concerning
that.
for him. I feel for the guy.
Listen, if anyone looks up to Drake Stoops, they've already got their head in the right spot.
Hey,
okay, that's the first thing. And he is he's faster than Stoops, absolutely. Will he be as have the guts and the work ethic? That'll tell with time.
The biggest thing that stood out to me today from Brent Venables was his thoughts on Jalil Farouk. I don't know if you saw that, Jeremy.
Actually, I didn't see that, Jay. Go ahead and enlighten the Sooners.
Basically, Jalil Farouk's just doing everything. I mean,
I didn't see that, Jay.
He really talked high of Jalil Farouk and Jaden Gibson. It's the best version of Jalil Farouk they've seen, basically, something like that.
Are you making this up? Because I didn't see
I'm not making it up. He said it's the best version. Yeah, that is the biggest. Mike, thank you. Thank you, Mike. That's true. That is the biggest news of all day is Julie Venables cancer-free. I mean, that's great.
Praise the Lord.
Praise the Lord.
Someone find the exact quote about Jalil
Farouk, was,
please.
Jalil Farouk's best version we've seen.
Well, I don't know, Jay. I can't have thoughts on that right now. So, I mean, it's not worth it for me. Look, he may be the best version of himself. Again, I don't know where he's going to find himself on the field. I thought one thing that was intriguing was, and you're right, Ron, God is good all the time. All the time, God is good. Jay, in my opinion, hearing that Jaden Jackson went from 279 to 297 and that he wants to play over 300 pounds, dude's already put on 18 pounds. Are you kidding me? That's exciting.
Who are you talking about?
Jaden Jackson.
Yeah, another guy that put on good weight and says he's faster is David Stone. I mean, they got
Danny Okoye as well, Jay.
Yeah. No, Okie Lawn guy. We are live from the palace.
We don't do reruns. We're live every night. Hey, tell me another Sooner program that's live every night. I'll wait. I'll be here all night.
Monty, appreciate that, bud. Appreciate it so much. Hey, Jaden Jackson will plug some holes. You're right. And, the Ashton Sanders talk, a lot of people have been talking about that. What do you think about what he said about Zach Alley?
Who said? Because what the player said about him.
No, I want what Brent Venables said. What do you think?
Well, I was going to talk about what the player said about him.
Okay.
Specifically, I'm trying to remember who it was that said it. I just lost it off the top of my head. But the player basically said, it was not Boganowski. Maybe it was Boganowski. I can't remember. But I can't believe I can't remember this. But the player basically said this is he talks like Brent Venables. His hand movements and gestures are like Venables. It was not. I think it was Nigel Smith actually. Nigel Smith's the one that said it. Basically saying it.
If Mess said it, it's right. Mess is pretty accurate.
It was Nigel Smith that I recall, and basically he's a baby Brent Venables.
Yeah, and Brent Venables says he's on coach with his hair on fire. I love that term. I love that terminology and that phrase. That's what you want.
But is he going to call the defense, Jay?
Did Ted Roof coach with his hair on fire? I beg.
Is he going to call the defense, Jay?
We'll find out. We will find out. Hey, are we as OU fans? Yeah, Jim Rat, perfect. Are we as OU fans maybe sleeping on a guy named Michael Boganowski because the room is so deep?
No, here's what I would say on that, Jay. He's got to have a year learning. The guy has gone from linebacker to a safety position. He's not playing his first year. I say zero chance.
You don't think any snaps? Yeah, I mean,
unless he gets on special teams, I don't see how he can get in the safety in the secondary.
Hey, also,
I think his future is so bright, though.
Nick Basquin, I think, analyst. Is that
Nick Basquin is an analyst. You remember his number at OUJ? 83.
Yeah, that's cool. Love to see that. What about, I don't know, the Daniel Akinkupi stuff is?
It's Akinkupi, Jay.
Yeah. I'm just saying that's.
What about it, Jay?
Well, I mean, the NIL stuff.
Yeah, I don't really want to talk about kind of some of those rules for him and stuff. It's interesting, but Brent Venables did talk about the O-line and the fact that they could add some depth there. What about Tarquin? What was it? I think George Stoya.
Tackle.
George Stoya was saying that Tarquin was talking that he is going to play tackle, not guard.
Correct.
Can he push for one of the tackle jobs? I don't think so.
Grow a mustache for March Madness. Guys, I'm going to tell you right now, if I grew a mustache, it would look really bad. I may try it for the heck of it.
Duh.
I can grow one. I may try it. See how long it lasts. I'm not sure I could do it very long because I don't know if I could look at myself in the mirror. But
hey, Jay.
Did BB say competitive depth today?
Jay, you need an Amish beard that says.
I
don't recall if I ever heard competitive. I don't recall if I ever heard that. It's almost like they're not going to use that very much this year. Jay.
Yeah.
Mez is right. Boganowski's special sideline to sideline. He's got speed. He's got a lot of things that you can't even coach. He's just got it. I just don't think he's playing next year.
It'll be tough to play with how deep that room is. So BB breathes out competitive depth. Yeah, you got it.
He alluded, and look, again, you got to take it with a grain of salt. He alluded that the young defensive linemen are going to contribute. And yeah, Mez, I think they're kind of getting it out of their vocabulary.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
I mean, needs to be.
Yeah, I don't know, Jay. There was a lot of cool stuff, I thought.
Yeah, I mean, anytime Brent Venables talks, it's always longer than you think it would be.
Well, duh.
But today, talking to all those players, too. What about Casey Thompson? He sounds like he's just glad to be there, man.
And BV is enthralled with Casey Thompson. And I think there's no chance if something were to happen to Jackson Arnold that Casey Thompson, if he was healthy, would be the guy.
Probably.
Not even close.
Probably. Mike, Sooner Legends podcast says, I've said it in an earlier video, we are sleeping giants with everyone sleeping on us in 2024. Don't be surprised if OU does better than what the talking heads are saying. Better as in better than 8-4? Is that what the talking heads you're saying is saying?
Hey, Kyla, if BYU beats Iowa State in Hilton Coliseum, and they've already beaten Kansas in Lawrence, Fog Allen, that's ridiculous.
Hey,
and OU beat them.
Hey, Jeremy, BYU is like watching Golden State in the NBA. They move the ball so freaking good. It's unbelievable.
I don't listen
that like
to talking
3
heads.
yawns for you tonight?
What?
Was that like 3 yawns for you already? You're tired, aren't you?
Dude, I am exhausted, and tomorrow I got a track meet. It's going to be an all-day affair. It's busy time for me, but you know what? Never too busy. Never too busy for the Surge Maniacs, I promise you.
Talking head saying 7.5. Yeah. Yeah, Craig. Thanks for
Craig from ATL.
ATL Craig back in the house. Justin back in for 7th year, baby.
Cheetah, that's baby.
Wild. Hey, is he the starting Cheetah day one?
Why would he not be, Jay?
I think he would be.
He is, and again, Jay, it raised the question, Jay, of Deshaun McCullough.
About what they're going to do with him.
Deshaun McCullough's got to be on the field 65 to 75% of plays.
Here's the reality. McCullough last year, when Dolby started playing more, McCullough's kind of minutes went away. What about with Harrington? I mean, where are they going to play McCullough, right?
That's what Sooner fan says. Oaklawn guy, I'm in Tahlequah tomorrow, junior high track meet. I'm driving a bus and watching the junior high and helping them out tomorrow.
Yeah, Poncho Jack back in the win column. If they weren't going to beat Texas A&M Commerce, it was going to run roll them. It was going to be a problem.
Kirsten Deal has an elite rice ball. Watch out.
Well, they got to play. We'll see when they play Texas. That's going to be the real matchup. Hey. Maybe he can meet you there to get that puka shell necklace, Jeremy. I ordered one.
I'm sure you did, Jay. Everyone on here probably did.
I did order one.
Do you wear it for good?
Wait, do you wear it for good luck, or do the kids think it's cool at high school?
A student gave it to me. I wear it. I like it. Jeez.
Hey, yeah, word I heard tonight.
Dill may end up taking the ace job on this team if there is one.
Hey, I was with students tonight at church, leading a small group. A word was said to me that I didn't know, and I was kind of shocked. What?
Was it cap?
No, it was the word shiesty.
Oh, Jay, you're shiesty?
No. Do you know what shiesty is?
I think. I teach high school.
Oh,
I don't think it's a good thing, Jay.
Mess says Deshaun McCullough could have had minutes reduced with his lingering knee. Look, that's true. He was injured and banged up. That's true, 100%.
Deshaun McCullough has to be on the field, and I think moving him to DN would be perfect for him.
Joe Shiesty.
Jay,
what movies?
Where should Deshaun McCullough go for you then?
I think he's going to be. I don't know how they're going to use. Here's what I'll say. I think this year you're going to see more multiple looks probably than you've seen the first 2 years, because I think, just like what Brent Venables said about Zach Alley, he coaches with his hair on fire. He's a gym rat, as Mess said. He's going to be trying to figure anything out to get the guys on. I think it's going to be more than what Ted Roof was doing. And I agree, Eric. I agree with that. I know Jeremy
He's not too small. He's not
Jeremy
too small.
disagrees, but I agree with you, Eric.
So last year, Deshaun McCullough played, I think, 235. Is that right?
Probably.
If he gets to 260, that's too small for an edge. No.
Now, here's what I'll say.
Not too small. 260 ain't too small.
Here's what I'll say about Harrington and McCullough. If you could use them rotationally, where McCullough's more of the run guy and Harrington's really good in coverage. That's what OU missed when he got injured last year. I mean, he used to play defensive back. So I think, rotate
Eric,
them so they're healthy. I mean,
Eric, a year easily doable. Jaden Jackson's already gained 18 pounds since Wait. 18 pounds since he went on campus. Danny Okoye, I think, started at 235. He's upwards somewhere near 255, 260.
Jeremy, I get it, but also let me say this.
Someone drop in Okoye's. Okoye's put on 22 pounds since he stepped foot on campus. Stop it. Or ridiculous. Since the end of last year.
But Jeremy, I guess my thing on Deshaun McCullough is if you're wanting to play him at end, that means you're not going to play PJ or Okoye. I mean, some of these guys that I think could be playing.
You play 4 or 5 ends, Jay, and you bring it. They bring it all day long.
Yeah, I'm not sold on McCullough playing any end. Now, if you want to blitz him, I'm totally fine with it.
So where's he playing, Jay? He's a backup then?
No, I think you rotationally between him and Harrington. That's what they were going to do last year until Harrington.
Harrington, in my opinion, is the cheated. So is what Okoye? I'm just curious, Eric. What Okoye has done is that bad? You're saying not possible?
Eric's saying that's not possible.
Well, it is, and he also ran a 4.5 after gaining the weight. 4.56, I think. Edge. Danny Okoye special.
Mark says McCullough needs to be rush end.
Plus, hey, what people don't remember is even if he doesn't get to the quarterback, him and PJ Adebawore are 6'5".
Hey, Hunter, real quick. Anybody, you never hear anybody put on bad weight in football, hardly. I mean,
yeah, there are some.
Oh, other sports maybe. I don't hear it in football at all.
I don't think McCullough can play linebacker. I don't think he's good enough in coverage.
I don't know. I think that's going to be one.
Guys, I don't understand what the question is because I thought Deshaun McCullough played defensive end at Indiana and was a freshman All-American.
He didn't play defensive end. He played up there and rushed them. I wouldn't call him a true defensive end.
Was he on the line of scrimmage?
Well, that's a little different. Well, there you go. I think Mesa says it perfectly. Cheetah may get blitz looks that is similar to Jack Bay. Yeah, may get blitz looks. That's what I would use him for, blitz looks. I agree, Mesa.
You can bat balls down at 6'5". Just get back there a little bit. I think he's a guy that can bring pressure. He did it at Indiana. Why can't he here?
Okie Long says he put on 30 pounds during COVID. Good or bad is debatable. That's pretty funny.
That is funny. It was probably bad weight. Hey, Hunter. I know anything I put on is usually bad weight right now at my age. Hey, Hunter, on OU's website, what does it list Harrington and those guys at? Does it list a cheetah position? I didn't think it did. I'm just curious. Jack Backer is what the stud was. That was what was his name, Jay?
Will Anderson?
Will Anderson. He was a Jack Backer.
Yeah, but he played up on the line more.
Yeah, so it's just linebacker. It doesn't list cheetah.
Hunter says just linebackers. What?
Right. It doesn't list cheetah as a position, really. But look, I just think and I may be wrong, guys. I've been wrong once.
I got a fun game.
You didn't like that, did you, Jay?
No. That's why I changed the subject. I got an awesome game right here. I think it would be very interesting to hear. I've always wondered what people would think of this and what people would say. And here's the game we're going to play. And Jeremy,
play bench sit, play bench cut.
No, you can answer first, and then I want everybody in here. There's a bunch of you in here on this live. I would love to see your question.
Congrats, Monty.
Here's what it is. If you were in the press conference with Brent Venables, the next press conference, what is the one question you would ask him?
Well, I already know my question.
What would it be? If you were
first before
you got one question.
I got one question before I answer that question. Congrats to Monty Ward. That's impressive. Keep it up. Good to hear.
That's great.
Second of all, hit the like, as Lori says.
Mark says third of all, the defense.
Third of all, Okie, yeah, Owasa will be there along with 1,700 athletes. It's going to be insane. Hey. Listen, the question that I would ask is not what Mark says, although, Mark, that's a great one. Who's calling a defense?
I thought they would ask that today.
My question would be this. Why are you hesitant to play the competitive depth? That's my question. Why are you hesitating to play more guys? And then I like Chief T-Bear. You ever going to hire Kel Gundy back?
Man, there's already some good questions rolling here. Jay Jones
Great
is good.
questions.
Now, I will say this one. No coach, Colin, is ever going to tell you their starting lineup on D-line or linebackers. That no one's going to answer that. Here's Matt.
I thought we were assuming he was going to answer the question.
Well, I mean, I guess so. Matt says, what position is Fruit going to play in 2024? Z receiver or slot receiver? It's a good one.
Well, it sounds like he's going to play outside.
Well, it sounds like Burks transferred in to play the Stoops position. It's kind of what it sounded like.
Yes.
Are you kin to Howdy Doody? That's a great question.
Remember the Howdy Doody doll, Jay?
Oh, yeah.
Our sister had one.
Oh, yes.
That's great, Ron.
So what was the question you said you would ask?
You didn't answer. You didn't ask yours. My question is, why do you not play the competitive depth? Why are you not playing more guys? What's yours, Jay?
There you go, Mark.
What's yours?
I'm trying to think of mine.
Here's another question I'd ask. Why are you so hesitant to yank a kicker?
So you're pretty negative when you ask him questions, aren't you? Here's what I think I would ask.
There are questions I want answers to, Jay.
I think I would ask. It would be a defensive question for me, and it would be about Zach Alley and the hire, and it would be this. It would be, can you win a championship coaching the defense and being a head coach? And I think, truthfully,
that's a dumb question. There are guys. There are such things as dumb questions.
You're ridiculous. Your question is, gosh. Geez,
no, mine's a legit question.
Look at Okie Lawn, guys. That's an awesome question. Brent, do you have a puka shell necklace?
Okay. The obsession with the puka shell is ridiculous.
What if we got some Sooner Surge puka necklaces?
Hey.
Does Zach Alley speak?
Hub, that's a great one, Hub. Chad,
okay.
Wait.
Let's transfer.
Wait.
Chad.
Wait. Chad says, does anyone know anything about the new analyst OU hired? It's Basquin, played receiver at OU.
Well, unless he's talking about the one from previously. But here's what I'll say.
Or are you talking about a previous one, Chad?
Hey, we'll get to more of these in a minute, but I got to do trivia here. And before we get started with trivia, you see the Fan Stop. Go to fanstop.com. Use code SURGE. You'll get 10% off your first 3 months. Please sign up for it. It's awesome. I've seen the April shirt already. Wow. Legit, Jeremy. Really good looking shirt.
Unreal. Really cool shirt. Good idea. It's a really good shirt. So go to the fanstop.com and sign up for that. You will not be disappointed. And here's what we got. Kevin Johns, Hunter saying the other one. Hey, speaking of Nick Basquin, the trivia question tonight is Nick Basquin-esque. And here's the question. Nick Basquin, in his career at Oklahoma, how many touchdowns did he have? Hey, while they're throwing in the answers here, well, the most recent one is Basquin today. But was it 2 days ago they hired Kevin Johns, who, by the way, the Kevin Johns Jimmy got it. Jimmy got it 3. Nice, Jimmy. Nice. Done? Yeah. The Kevin Johns hire, in my opinion, the Kevin Johns and Doug Deacon hire, 2 best hires in the offseason. It's not even close. Hey. I'm saying better than Zach Alley. And I think, really, you got those 3 hires are going to prove to be probably the biggest, maybe biggest hires under BV for sure. I agree. It's a huge hire. Kevin Johns is probably the best hire analyst-wise this year. Sooner fan, here's the truth of this answer. If you ask that question, why is the OU NIL collective so cheap? I guess what you're saying is, why are the fans so cheap? Here's what you're saying. Yep. Check out Sooner Legend. Someone says, enjoy the show. Yeah, very, very. Yeah, it's cool. 3 massive hires. Massive. And Craig, look. We talked about that the other night. All you got to do is look at history. He called the plays at Duke, and they had their most successful offense when he was there. He's worked with Luttrell before. He's coached receivers, tight ends. He specialized in quarterbacks, really helped Riley Leonard out at Duke. And I believe he's going to be a very, very good addition for Jackson Arnold.
Yeah, and Kevin, who was it up here? Let me see where I was. Oh, Jay, there will be, always will be, with what's going on. I mean, Sooner Surge supports Oak Long guys all over this Puka stuff. Worked for 6 years with Kevin Wilson. That's a good point. That's a good point, Mess. Hey, Jeremy, can BV run faster than us? I think I could get BV on a 40.
I would like to think I could too, but I'm out of shape right now.
Would I beat you? Would I beat you on a 40 right now?
Probably. Hey, one thing
wow.
about the softball team tonight, Avery Hodge played some shortstop and looked pretty good.
Avery Hodge is an elite shortstop. What are you questioning?
Just interesting if they'll maybe slide her back over. I don't know.
And move Tiare back to second?
Yeah, that'd be something to think about. I don't know.
Yeah, I worked with Emmett Jones as well. That's correct, Hunter.
Emmett Jones, Seth Luttrell. This staff is going to be very, very elite. In my opinion,
it's going to be the most
4
connected
in the SEC for sure.
It's going to be the most connected that they've had, I think, chemistry-wise.
Correct.
Hey,
I don't think Tiare is too slow. Maybe our
Mark,
reaction time is different, but
Mark, I would love that. That would be awesome.
Hey, Lori, they've lost 1 game in their last 72. And listen, we were not named after the London Twins. No. And listen, Colin, here's kind of my deal with the 2 freshmen, Ella Parker and Cassidy Pickering, carrying the weight. They're doing amazing. Parker hits a 3-run bomb tonight. Pickering a couple dubs, double machine. Listen, Patty Gasso is not afraid to play freshmen when they're elite. She thinks they're ready. She plays them. And someone mentioned that early in life. I think BV's got to trust the young players just a tad more.
1-game winning streak for Oklahoma softball. Jerm, serious question from Ron. Could you beat DG in the 40?
Absolutely.
Well, whatever, dude. You said you couldn't beat me.
I could also throw maybe a better deep ball, but probably not a better short passes. But
wait, you are left-handed just like him. Is he kind of your inspiration a little bit?
Yeah, he is, Jay.
Yeah.
Look, it used to be Eric Moore. Eric Moore was my inspiration. He was a lefty that played at OU. Dylan Gabriel slightly better than Eric Moore. So now Dylan Gabriel is now, Jay. If you guys know anything about OU football, you know how bad Eric Moore was. Dylan Gabriel way better than Eric Moore.
Yeah, that's not even close. Not even close.
Nope. Not even close, Jay. What else from the BV presser, guys? What else from the BV presser?
Anything else stand out to you from it?
There are some other things. He didn't allude that they're going to go get anyone else. Obviously, he didn't talk about Jake Roberts had some things, some cool quotes, just the relationship that he has and how it's pretty special playing here kind of in his backyard.
Think about this. You know, we've talked about the transfer portal, right? And the guys they've gotten and the guys they got from recruiting. I don't know, and I'm serious about this. I don't know if there's a more pivotal and better room that they got out of the portal and recruiting, like especially the portal, than tight end. So needed. They have nobody there, especially if it doesn't sound like Helms is ready. I mean, can you imagine if it was just Devon Mitchell coming in? But they got Jake Roberts and Bauer Sharp, which I think turns out to be huge. And at the time, I think we thought it was big, but I think it's even bigger now with Caden Helms not being able to practice till the summer. I think that's big time.
let me clear your confusion, Colin. Jake Roberts is on the team. He played at North Texas and Baylor. We are looking at his brother, Nate Roberts, who's also looked at Ohio State. Highly touted guy. He's the 2025 tight end. Nate is.
Hey, serious question from Okie Longine. I'm beginning to wonder, too. Are you a kind of a secret DG fan? A little bit.
I'm not playing these games, dude. Jeez. I already said that, Jay. Do you want me to go off and start talking about DG? I can't.
But wasn't your favorite movie growing up the one off
Johnny
Disney?
Tsunami. Keep your
Johnny
tips up,
Tsunami?
bro.
That's kind of like
Keep your tips up, bro.
DG's got a little Johnny Tsunami in him.
Yeah. Monty Ward. No, it doesn't surprise me that BB hasn't given up on Farouk. He loves the loyalty he has towards the older players has always been. It's not surprising. I got to go to Eric's comment. BB's going to see 5 teams ranked in the top 30 in offense next year. What's his plan to stop them? Well, 1, every player's back outside of 1. 2, every other player that's a backup is better than the backups we've had because they've been there another year or they're better talented guys. 3, he brought in Zach Alley to help. Do you need more?
Hey, and let me say something
That's
about
my answers, and I'm sticking to it. How about that?
The Zach Alley hire, anybody that's worked on any type of team, even at work, any job you have, if you have people with you that will challenge, that will, like BB says, coach with his hair on fire, is a gym rat. Nothing against Ted Roof, but it doesn't sound like that was probably a Ted Roof. Okay. No. So I think Zach Alley is going to make a big time difference in that aspect. And Big Orange, I think Net's going to connect. I can never say his name. Connect I think he's going to win Player of the Year.
Probably. 2 things. First, Purple. The slander, to call it slander is not really accurate in my opinion. I'll call it for what it is. He had some horrible mistakes. Has not panned out as much as I thought he would as a receiver. Second of all, you're right, Eric. Everyone coming back was on that team and accounted for 77 in total defense. Also, go listen to the stats and how improved OU was in several categories. And I think they make the jump to a top 25 defense this year. Again, I've had this opinion. I'm going to stick to the opinion. I think it's going to be much improved. I just think it is. I've got many reasons for that. I've gone on and said them before. I don't really need to hash those again. That's my opinion. I'm sticking to it.
Do you remember about 3 weeks ago when I said my hot take for the upcoming season, what it was?
No.
Maybe you weren't on that live. You joined the next night. My hot take, I told everybody, was Jalil Farouk has his best season as a Sooner. And I'm sticking with it. And Brent Venables sounds like having a really good offseason. So I hope that's right. I'd love to see him have a bounce back year.
Hey,
Jimmy says much improved on defense, 100%.
Hey, Chief, do I say thank God we have Farouk? I think the deal is, listen, what I guess where I get kind of upset, if they didn't have anyone else, then I would say I get it. You know, you got to go with Farouk. And did Farouk do good things? Yes, Farouk did good things.
Well,
I would say, Purple Orca, you're right. He's a solid football receiver. He's solid. He's not whoa, wow type of guy. I think they have some like that on the team. Jaden Gibson, Burks is going to be one of the wow guys. Brendan Thompson, I think, is a wow guy.
Let me ask you this. Was Drake Stoops a wow guy?
Yeah, he made a lot of wow plays.
Why was he a wow guy?
I'm like, wow, this dude got open. This dude made a catch and got lit up. Yeah, Jay, he made several wow plays.
What about BB talking high of Hester?
Well, yeah, he talked high of a lot of people, Jay. I take it with a grain of salt. Eric, you can't say without Farouk we have 2 more losses, Texas and BYU. If you're going to say that, then you can say without Arnold we lose BYU. I mean, that's...
Well, you could also do it. It's just like basketball. You could do it, well, without Farouk, they might have beaten Arizona. I mean, you could do it.
You can't pick one guy. Without Schmidt,
I agree, Eric. I agree.
He didn't have the most wow catches. I don't
Jeremy,
care about the video you posted. There was none where I went, wow. There was a couple of yards after catch. I'm getting fired up. There was a couple, timeout. There was a couple of yards after catch where he made some moves, and I went, wow. There was one or two catches. I was like, great catch. Jaden Gibson had several more wow catches.
Jeremy, Jaden Gibson had some wow catches. So did Jalil Farouk. Jalil had a lot more wow catches than Nick Anderson. And I think Nick Anderson is the best receiver on the team.
I do too. Eric, trash against BYU, just stop. He also made, I guess, the game-winning play. So stop that too. Yeah, I agree, Bobby. I watched the video. Bobby watched the video. There's nothing on there. I'm like, put it on the Sports Center top 10. Jaden Gibson was on the Sports Center top 10 list, guys.
He had a great catch against Tulsa, I believe. Went up and got it.
I know of several times deep balls he wasn't able to come down with it, and we all wanted interference calls.
All right,
he was interfered, but he didn't come down with the ball either.
T. Moses, thanks for joining tonight. I saw you put this in there a couple times, and I agree with you. Nick Anderson, the best receiver. Who on here thinks Nick Anderson is the best receiver? Is it like 80 to 90% of the people on here think that? Probably. I think so.
Listen, on the Nick Anderson stuff, Nick Anderson's speed is not elite. I'll say that. It's not elite speed. Do I think Nick Anderson may be the most physical? Yes, I do. Anderson has highest ceiling. I think his route running was good. He's able to extend plays because he can stiff arm pretty good. I think Deion Burks will be the best.
The reason I asked this question was because I think if you go back to last year about this time, we weren't doing lives, but if you go back to last year, I think we're in the same boat as Oklahoma fans this year with the receiving core. Nobody knows who the best. I think nobody knew last year. Nobody knew Anthony was going to be that good. I think this year it's the same way. Nobody really knows who's going to stand out and be the best. I think Nick Anderson is, but we will find out. And hey, Eric, I agree with you on a lot of things, but
there was a lot of games he had 50 to 70 yards.
Let me say this. You say one catch for 3 yards, but you also would have to look at how many times was he targeted, probably one. And then also I went and watched, I don't know, it was a couple of weeks ago. I went and watched a couple of games from last season, and there is a lot of times where receivers are wide open, and Dylan Gabriel just didn't throw it to him. So,
and the other thing is, you can't talk about having good games against bad teams and then say Dylan Gabriel was the lead every game. So it's kind of stats are padded all the time. Now, Farouk had a lot better game against Texas, yeah.
Eric, are you saying Nick Anderson is slow?
Can't separate. Nick Anderson separated really well.
No, he ran different routes than Farouk. I think Farouk didn't really have a chance to separate in what he was running.
Quick slants is what Farouk ran.
That's about it.
Nick Anderson was separated from his guys several times. Wide open, actually.
Hey, Brent Venables said that Anthony will be back for the summer, not in spring. So,
yeah, look at his stats against UCF, a game they had to have. 105 receiving yards, 2 tutties. Okay.
But UCF's not Texas, I think is what
What was Farouk's number in that game? 3 for 92 against the Cowpokes. That's Nick Anderson. Okay. So, Eric, the problem is you have to say it's always coverage bust.
Okay.
4 out of 19 against West Virginia. Okay. Yeah, where's your TU and Arkansas State now, bud?
Hey, let me ask
you
this.
Those are 100-yard games, 3 out of 4 of them. Oh, my goodness.
Let me ask you this. If you were a quarterback, and this I think you answer who you think is the best receiver. Who you think. I'm not asking who is, who you think. Who would you want lined up to make a play if it was one guy? Would you pick Jalil Farouk? Would you pick Jaden Gibson? Would you pick Nick Anderson, Andrew Anthony? Who would you guys pick? Because I think that's how you say who is the best receiver.
I don't know, but Jay, here's what I would say. if a guy averages 21 yards a catch, I guess there's some separation. Eric, I think every game's a big game in the Big 12.
Well, for OU,
It was West Virginia as good as Kansas? Arguably, yeah. Was Kansas a big game? Farouk had a good game against OSU. Looks like 98 yards, yep. Now that's trash. Bad team.
I think you also got to put into consideration, Eric, is that Nick Anderson was basically a freshman last year.
Look at Kansas, 3 for 11. Wow.
Nobody caught the ball against Kansas. Hunter, you can't put that in there, Hunter. You can't put Kansas in there.
I agree.
Come
But Jay,
on, Hunter. Wow.
What about the bowl game? What was the numbers? Farouk had some catches. What were the numbers in the bowl game? Hunter's not always on my team.
Yeah,
you should hear the arguments Hunter and I have about DG. We've hung up on each other several times, okay?
Yeah, Drake Stoops last year was the best. I still don't think he's the best talented receiver. I think he was the best receiver last year.
What was the question? I want to know Arizona game numbers. I think Anderson was like 60 yards receiving that game. I may be wrong.
Man, we're going off on a tangent here with wide receiver room.
Someone brought up Farouk, and it went down the hill like that.
Farouk just fires things up.
Look, we drop the ball. Every time we go to Farouk, we end up dropping the ball and changing subjects. It's ridiculous. Against Arizona, Nick Anderson, 7 for 73 and a tutty. Jalil Farouk, 4 for 57. Hey. A fumble, a pick six by himself. Okay.
Hey, wasn't that the game where Nick Anderson had the incredible sideline catch?
Unreal catch, Jay.
That was his best. Now, that was probably the best play of the year for him.
He also had a deep ball drop maybe in that game, and it went for 150.
Yeah, he can't drop balls, man.
Can't. I think here's what it is I'm going to say about Nick Anderson. I get where Eric's coming from a little bit on some things. Like Eric's right. I don't think Nick Anderson just wows me with his speed. I think he is such a good route runner. I think he's got some physicality. He's 6'4", almost the type of, even how he runs, it doesn't look like he's all that, but I'm telling you he is, okay?
Hey.
Hunter disagrees with you, Mez, but I 100% agree with you. 100% hey, I agree with you.
Chad, I think the jury's out on that, depending on how he comes back from his injury. I think if he would have been healthy last year, he'd have been starting, this year he'd have been the guy.
I don't know how we're out in 21 yards of reception either, honestly. And DG, I've already said that. I know someone said I don't get 4 turnovers for Arnold, 2 for Farouk. But, again, Arnold's first 2 picks, it was bad. They were late. I'm going to give him a little bit of slack because it was really the first game he played in.
He was a freshman All-American, was he not?
Who?
Nick Anderson.
Oh, Nick Anderson. Yeah, I was talking about the 4 turnovers.
Yeah.
Come on, Okelon guy. Russell Wilson's 10 times better. Duh. I mean, that's a dumb question.
Russell Wilson's a lot better, but
Anthony, Anderson, Stoops are all far. And listen, I've said it before. Before people think that I just slander Farouk, I think Farouk can be very valuable next year, Jay. He can be a guy who comes in and gets 10 to 20 snaps at receiver. He'd be an exceptional backup. I don't think he should play more than Anderson. I don't think he should play more than Burks. I don't think he should play more than Anthony. I don't think he should. Well, there's 3 right there. Okay, I'll leave it at that. Pettaway, he can play as much as Pettaway.
Eric, I understand what you're saying, but I also want to say this. I think the whole OU offense and Jeff Levy, take away Tulsa and Arkansas State, wasn't that great. I mean, their numbers were skewed so much from 2 games, it was unreal.
Yeah.
I think the story of the night is Justin Harrington.
And by the way, Nick Anderson didn't even play until what game was it that Anthony got hurt?
Well, he came in the Tulsa game. He got hurt in Texas, Anthony, but Anderson played quite a bit in Tulsa.
But he was not really in the rotation much until after
Correct.
the Texas game. So let's
Correct.
stop. Final drive is like all he played that game. Come on, Eric.
Played a little more than that in the second half.
Not much, though, Jay. You can't talk about the Texas game if he barely played. Yes, Anderson dropped. I said Anderson had a big drop. Good wide receiver talk tonight, Jay.
Yep, was. We'll see what happens. I mean, I think the jury's out. I think the jury was out last year.
The jury's not out. They're loaded. There is no jury.
The jury is out.
Loaded.
The jury is out on who the best receiver is.
And it doesn't matter. They should play, in my opinion, 7 to 10 receivers every game. And there's
10
two guys,
receivers?
7 to 10 every game.
10 receivers?
7 to 10.
Jeremy, right now,
I'm talking tight end and receiver. Ball catch.
We're going to end this live right now after this, but I want to know right now, name me 10 receivers. Go.
First off, listen right now.
Oh!
Listen.
Wow.
You guys ripped me on the hot. You guys ripped me on the hot take.
Wow.
Before the bowl game on the hot take, I said 9 guys would catch balls. 8 did. Okay?
Maybe 10 receivers right now.
I said tight ends count.
Okay, go.
Okay. You got Anthony, Anderson, Gibson. We didn't even talk about it earlier. Anthony, Anderson, Gibson, Burks. There's 4, in my opinion, that should have more than anyone else. Farouk, Petaway, Bauer Sharp, Devon Mitchell. What am I at? 8? Haven't even gotten to some other guys.
Because you don't remember them.
Gavin Freeman, 9. Zion Raggins, Brendan Thompson. Haven't even named Brendan Thompson.
Yeah, because somebody put it in.
10.
Somebody put it in there for you. So good thing.
I forgot it, Jay. He should be up on number 5 or 6.
So all 10 of those
guys. You don't
guys
think they should play 7 of those guys, Jay?
That's going to be interesting to see how they use all those 10 guys.
I said tight ends count, Hunter. Listen with your ears. Yeah. I didn't even count Gavin Sawchuk. All I said was before the bowl game, I think Jackson Arnold will throw to 9 different receivers. He threw to 8.
Yeah, Monty.
Dylan Gabriel wasn't going to do that, Jay.
I agree with the Dylan Gabriel locking on receivers. I agree 100%. So
I agree, Chief T-Bird. Brendan Thompson may be the best when it's all said and done.
Good conversation tonight. Appreciate you guys. As always, Surgeon Maniac, Surgeon Hot, whatever you want to call yourselves. Appreciate you carrying the conversation. Make sure you go to FanStop tonight, tomorrow. Get signed up for the Shirt of the Month Club. Go use code SURGE, 10% off first 3 months. Great shirts. Jeremy needs to loosen up his puka shell necklace. It is getting tight in there, bro. You know what? We've been doing this live. No, wait. We've been doing this live now for what? 3 months, maybe?
Maybe more.
Maybe more. I can't remember every night, but it was since Christmas, so I don't know what that is. But I've never 4 months. I've never one time seen you hit the table like that.
Listen, first off, 2 things I'm going to say before we get off here. Purple Orca, I've said there's 2 positions I want to see doubled up, 6 to 8 people. I said 7 to 10 tonight, receiver and secondary. In my opinion, those you can rotate more because it gives the defense and offense different looks. Cornerback can't get used to one guy, and they're loaded at those positions. You've got to use them. And I said Farouk can be in the rotation. Absolutely can be. I wouldn't have an issue with that. My issue with Farouk is he shouldn't have more opportunity than Burks, Anderson, and Gibson. Okay, that's what I've said. Second of all, absolutely the best news of the night was that Julie Venables is cancer-free. Glory to God. Praise to God for that. Great news. And Eric, for people who are calling Eric out, I'll say this. We're in the Discord saying it, and I love for everyone to have opinions and come at me a little bit. I'm not going to change my opinion, but I'm not going to sit there and call you an idiot either. I'm just going to say that
you may
wrong.
Hold up. You may call people idiots.
I don't think I've ever called someone an idiot.
Okay, maybe you call them out. Maybe
Eric, you can clean up fumbles, but there is this thing that some people just fumble the ball more, and therefore they don't get on the field as much. There's consequences to that.
There is. Hey, and Purple Orca, thanks for the nice comment. Appreciate it. It's because of y'all. I mean, y'all carry the live, so appreciate that. It means a lot. And please share it, like it. Like it helps a lot. So appreciate you guys. As always, yeah, Jerem, have a good trip tomorrow in Tahlequah, Oklahoma. I could go work in Tahlequah tomorrow. I'll meet up with you.
Hey, and Eric, I will say, someone said Eric Chief. Yeah, it does seem like a solid dude. But Jay, let me ask Eric one question, and I want Eric to answer it in the Discord tonight. Eric, answer this question in the Discord. And by the way, if you're not on the Discord, you won't be able to see the question, but you can join the Discord. Sooner Surge Unlimited. It's in the links. Join up. $4.99 a month. You won't be disappointed. Eric, join in the Discord and answer this question. When Farouk catches the ball, are you concerned ever? Do you worry that he might fumble it more than other receivers? That's my question. Appreciate it. Thanks for being on here tonight. Till next time. Boomer.
Sooner.